grip fight.
Yes, I'm
So moving around, getting grip.
It's going to be an interesting match because they have very
Looking to We're just doing free fighting for about 2 minutes with your partner. So moving around your opponent and getting the rear body lock. So rear body lock or single leg. And there's like an interplay between something like an arm drag and also the single leg. It's actually quite good. So it's like if I go for an arm drag and frame the wrist, it's usually he'll start pulling back, and then with a single hold it becomes easier to get. And then also if you like use the arm drag grip to go for a single, we can also use that sort of create opportunities to move around. So there's like a really good balance between getting grips, looking for arm drags, and then also that opens up opportunities. If you guys watched ADCC Asian trials this past weekend, I've been playing around with this arm drag variation that I saw Joseph do in one of his matches. You can do like the regular arm drag, the one where you pull at the armpit, push at the wrist, head position, and then face your opponent, face the same way as Frank here, and I like to grab him. This kind of like makes sure that if Frank tries to keep turning in, I'm always going to win this battle. The variation that Joseph was doing was more like chest to chest. And basically what he was doing was he kind of like preloaded his hip work here, and then kind of like this inside wrist grip right here. I think you guys see this when people like they go inside the wrist and they swing their elbow. That's the same grip. Inside wrist grip, you can choose to swing the elbow. What he does is he kind of like preloads the arm drag here, and then then if you think about it, like if you mess up somehow, you still have the ability to get it under control. And realize it's still so that little grip here is kind of like multi-use. You can play around that. But we'll play this game twice with two partners. The rear body lock or pick up a single leg. So you guys can play around with those. Play around with the grips and also the lower body. Yeah, so that and then this one across this one. And then this one, kind of throw the wrist across. Get it, yeah. Do it again. Yeah, and then here you'll throw this across and you'll grab it. Yeah, yeah.
That's usually how I go. Scouting earlier, so I was kind of like, we're just kind of cool.
I feel like it keeps that arm from going.
Like the shoulder grip.
Well, it's like the regular. I feel like whenever. Yeah, then you both have kind of an arm drag, and it's like.
There's all the wrestling and all the work on back there. It's like a Filipino flag. Oh, it's American. Sorry. I saw the color. I didn't see the yellow. I was like, wait a second. Where is it?
Near DC, but
Oh,
the DMV where. But yeah.
You work for a Yeah.
Alright, next thing. The last thing we're going to do is standing. So, the last thing we're going to do is drill into a single leg, and then we'll start, we'll play the game where the attacker, so I'll drill into a single leg however I like it, and then as an attacker, I'm going to put Frank's hips to the mat. Frank's going to look to disconnect. If either of us reach those conditions, then we reset. If you don't know any single leg takedowns, like a really simple one that I've been doing way more is just basically like reaching down and snatching up. So none of this like, I'm not doing any kind of knee to the mat. I'm basically like, if I have a neutral stance, I'm basically putting my power leg behind me and then just snatching up. Obviously you want to do a little bit of hand fight and then just snatching up. Really nice and simple. Getting my power leg aligned with my lead leg, and then just kind of like doing a little squat and practice. Treating it like a pretty super simple, but if you time it right, it's just really nice. You can even like kind of do a step and then pick up a single. So once we get to this position, we're looking to take Frank down to the hip. The thing that I want you guys to sort of like think about in this position is Frank's weight on me or is it off of me? If his weight is on me, that means like the leg that I have in my hands is going to be a big factor in how I bring him down. I can run the pipe, and this means his right leg here is heavy on me. So I can run the pipe, I can do any number of sort of rotational takedowns because I can manipulate his weight on this leg. You'll find that like when you try to run the pipe and you stand up, it's because he shifted his weight to the far leg. Once that happens, I need to start thinking about how I'm going to struggle balance on this far leg. And that might be going for doubles, that might be lifting his foot up and going for some foot swings. So when you guys are playing this game, really like try to feel out where their weight distribution is. And if you don't know, that's fine. If I try to run the time and they stay up, then that means you know that they've shifted their weight. And that means you know that you can do another takedown. Questions? Good. We'll do this twice with different partners. 1, 2, 1, 2.
We're just trying to practice. Sorry, we're grabbing someone. One thing to do is try to bring it back. If I'm tapping my foot like this. Sorry, you okay? You okay? Alright. So like, if like you like tapping left knee, you put this up. Okay.
person on top, you can choose side control and variation. I can start here, I can start judo side, I can start reverse judo side, whatever. Or you can choose mount. My only goal as a top person is going to be to maintain the pin. So if I'm in mount, I'm going to maintain, I'm looking for subs, nothing. Same with side control. I'm just looking to kill rotation and kill flexibility on base. That's it. And you can transition to other positions, maybe north south. If you want to go to mount from side control, you can. Or if you want to go from mount to side control, you can as well. As long as you're maintaining the pin. Frank's only goal is to disconnect or to get Frank's back in before anything. If Frank is able to do that, flip flop. And for me, there's no win condition. If I can hold my partner down for the entire 2 minutes, that's what it goes. Any questions? We'll do this again with 2 partners. Person on bottom, you're just finding ways to form base, get up, rotate while you do that, and also get inside control with your frames, your elbows, your knees. Do what you know. Yeah? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Let me help. Yeah, I can see.
However you want to do it. Don't want us to come all the way up, or what am I doing? Like stage? Yes, you can start with that. Wait, I think you can go same or you can go mount.
So not real though.
That's what Lachlan just taught the world. You don't need to do it.
Get your frames back in and out. So technically, yeah. But then, like, he was so, I feel like
Yeah, I think it's 2 minutes. To the next thing. You can like the other side, right? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I guess as long as you're pinning.
all right, you partners, same thing. Looking to maintain new partners. Remember to switch when you complete your objective. When the bottom person stays over here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I thought you said that was 2 minutes, so I was like,
Oh, I think it's like you switch. You switch at the bottom. I think either way it works. wrestling, and then some fundamentals like maintaining a pin or escaping the skills. You're always going to use that. So last week Alan was going over Eva, and we'll play some progressive games. So like we get into this position here, which is Eva. So I think the game that I like to play here is we actually start in the open guard. And then my goal is to get 3 entries of Eva, like find some way to get to this position 3 times. Obviously Frank's not going to make that easy, right? Because if you start in open guard, there's going to be a grip fight. He's going to be trying to push me over, get a flank on me, right? So I'm looking to connect 3 times into the Eva position. Frank's looking to flank me and connect his shin to the side of my body 3 times. Whoever reaches that position first wins, and then you guys flip flop. So if Frank gets to my flank 3 times and I've only gotten Eva twice, then we'll switch. And I'll be on top and go down bottom. Just because, like, if we can't even get to the Eva position, it's going to be hard to use it. So some of that is learning how to just figure out how to find our way into the Eva position when we're ready to attack. Once I get this position, we'll reset, and we'll go again. Just figuring out how to get to that. And form a strong position. I'll set the timer for slightly longer just because it may take a while for it to get 3x the position. So we're going to switch every time someone gets through. Any questions?
I know you don't.
Oh no, I think like he's one day. I mean, he's doing really things for them. It's I think it's one of the guards. Oh, I'm sorry. Usually people do it on one side, they just put the other foot over.
partner, same thing, looking for daily Kiva entries or for the top person, playing.
I have to keep you standing up. Let's all stand up.
Okay, so now we're sort of at least a little more, like, you know that's going to be a battle that you're going to have to do when you're getting into any form of game. You're going to fight my way from the start. So now we'll progress on the game and we'll start in the daily ego position. So outside leg wrapped in, I like to do hand and knee pit here, then hand on the ankle. I try to be like crunched up like a ball a little bit as well. Like I'm not just putting my head on the mat. Because this way I actually find it kind of like hard to move. Because when you crunch yourself into a ball, you're kind of rolling. And then now, as you roll with your connections, it starts to off balance Frank, even if like I don't need to necessarily. If I'm flat, then everything's sort of stable, and then Frank actually has a lot of stability to now look to break my hands and legs. So my goal on bottom is to get both of Frank's hands to the mat. So here, boom, I win. So obviously his goal is to stay up. Or, so I can get his hands to the mat, or I get both of my hands to his hips. So let's say he starts like back stepping a little bit, and you guys can do this sort of exposure of the back. If I can get both of my hands to his hips, that's a winning condition as well. Frank's only goal is to stay stable and just strip my daily ego. And if he's able to disconnect, that's his winning condition. Just some things to think about in daily Viva. I know we've gone over like a variety of sweeps and stuff. There's really only like a couple of concepts I'm thinking about when I'm connected in any kind of guard. One is I can carry my partner's weight and then manipulate their weight. So this is why it's important to sort of be involved. So I can start like turning, just a simple turn to my hip already is putting his hands in the back, right? Or I can think about pushing his center of mass off his base. So this is when things like, I like grab both his feet, so I'm planting his base, and then just like a little hit pushes his center of mass over a base. And then the last one is pressure to the back of the knee. So if Frank decides to back step, like Alan has showed, like he's going to insert his foot to the far hip, but Alan also said like he pressures his knee into the back of the knee here. And what does that do? It exposes the back. So if I can put pressure into the back of the knee, then that means I can expose the back and then grab the hips, which is also so just keep those concepts in mind. I feel like it sort of opens up what you can do in terms of like, oh, if I can carry my partner's weight and then turn onto my side and start pushing them over, then that means my partner has to play some of that in order to use balance. So we're looking for those initial on-balance. So we'll start with the Viva. If you get hands on the mat or hands on the hips. If you're able to knock your partner over, like he just like falls over because you're able to sweep him, that's also a condition as well. Try not to go all the way to a back take or like coming up for sweep because we'll eventually do that. Right now we're just looking for those initial off balances and then top ourselves with a straight brace. And see questions?
And it's one and one switch.
There's one and one switch. So whoever, if Frank disconnects completely, switch. You get hands in the mat, hands in the hips, or I top of Frank's hips in the mat. On 2 and 2.
Yeah, wait, yeah, that was a bad.
Yeah. Because they're not doing the thing. Yeah.
No, but it's okay.
feel like I'm doing like a weird like,
Everybody's like buying it for their opinions.
For me. Which is good.
I'm once again good at really good. I still gotta work on a lot. Alright.
Now that we sort of got into the Viva, I just want to leave some. I want to give you guys like 5 minutes to ask questions if there are any. So, like, things you had trouble with, things that you tried that didn't work. Any questions?
I have a question. Alright, more of a comment. This is something I didn't realize with Christian because I always try to fucking go for reverse like this on the same side because I'm super, everybody knows me, I only play one side. And he's like, he literally was like, you should try to do reverse like onto the side that I'm passing on. Like, you know, like he started circling this way, and then I was just like, oh yeah, and then I was there. And it just was like a super, like I'm functionally only going to get it on this side because that's the only side I like to work from. And he's like, no, you should do it there. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And it worked. So it was more of a, I twisted my perspective a little bit and it was helpful.
Anyone else have issues?
Maybe you would say something.
If not, I can sort of share. I try to observe just to see like what's going on. I think everyone did a pretty good job of not just being flat, because I feel like a good way to maneuver around someone in game is essentially to keep like a ball in the block. So I'm like, if I really want to like start using this guard to, right? It's like nothing changes in terms of my grips except my just like ability to rotate like that. And then from here we have all these options on throwing into leg locks, changing into different forms of guard, pushing, coming up, whatever. So like keeping like a ball is going to help. Even in like reverse like Viva where you have a completely different position, like it's the same thing. I'm staying as a ball. And if I want to switch to make a Viva, same thing. So keeping sort of tight allows you to maneuver around, but then you also want to know when to extend. So like if I'm here and I'm able to bring from hands to the net, this is the time where I want to expand and instead maybe come up and start moving. Another thing I saw, I think I talked about this yesterday in class, is when Frank like starts to do a little bit of a back step and that opens up this back take right here. I think there's a lot involved with this, like, oh, I got to throw this hook in, and then I have to bring my hips on the other side of this foot, switch my grip, and then grab his ankles, and then now the hips are actually too far away, and it's just like, there's a lot going on in that back take. So the thing that I actually like to do is to get kind of like an underhook grip right here. So instead of like an ankle grip on this side, I go underhook and I grab my shin. And what this does is now I can sort of reap his ankle upward while I put pressure into the back of his knee right here. And that sort of brings his knee down. From here, I can shallow out my elbow and grab his grab a hip with it. And then from here, it's like scoot back, pulling down the hip. Down. So kind of like this. For me, it helps skip all of that. Like, I gotta bring my hips to the other side. It's just like, I do the other hook. I use this kind of really pressure up, and I lean downwards to create pressure so that the drops is hit and then I can raise it up hard and pull back. Just another way for a back hit that I prefer to do, just so I don't have to like fight somebody running away and I can't reach my hips. And it's just, if there's no more questions, then we'll play the entire game. So this is very similar to what you were doing before. This is why we're progressing in this manner. Again, we're looking to get their hands to the mat, but then now we have to complete the sweep. So whatever you feel like doing, whether it's pushing your leg away and coming up, and then bringing your hips to the mat, or if you were doing any number of sweeps where you trap the base and just have your hips go down the mat and then make sure to come up as well. And then for the back takes, I have to get 2 hooks in and a seatbelt. So just taking it all the way. So the last game we were kind of like doing the entries, the sweeps, and back takes, but now we're going all the way to the finish. And then for the toppers, again, if they disconnect or they disconnect and pass the guard, then they're fine.
Questions? Are we staying open or we start getting?
Sorry. All right, I'll do it.
The detail is when. You want the other foot? Yeah, I think it's better. It's stronger one. It doesn't have all these little feet sticking out, I guess. Yeah.
think about it, what is guard? Guard is literally just I'm managing distance, and then I'm figuring out ways to carry and manipulate their weight. So I can either push their center of mass over their base, or like move their weight in a way where now some of Frank's weight is on his upper body, now his legs are light, so I can start moving into the legs, going into leg entanglements, whatever. So that's essentially what guard is. I'm going to manage my distance so they can't pressure into me and pass my guard, and then I'm going to figure out a way to carry and manipulate their weight. Every guard is like that. And whether I'm doing reverse de la Viva, that same thing. I'm figuring out how to manipulate their weight. Maybe I'm inverting under them, so now I'm carrying some of their weight. And now I'm looking to the back. If you're in my butterfly guard, it's the same thing. So I'm managing distance, and then I'm figuring out how to carry and manipulate their weight using my hands. So it's pretty applicable to every guard. So every time you're rolling, you try and think about ways to how am I going to catch my opponent? How am I going to get their hands to the mat, and then actually set up how you're going to figure out how to do sweeps and do that. Alright, that's it. Very much consistent customers.
Hypothetically speaking, let's say your opponent doesn't believe in guard.
Like Wes?
Yeah, and their name is Wes. Hypothetically speaking, this is a hypothetical. If you